Imagine a stage filled with laughter so loud it shakes your soul. The man center stage is Jim Carrey, electric, rubber-faced, impossibly animated, yet behind the comedic whirlwind lives a story of struggle, reinvention, depth, and resilience that few know. This isn't just about rubbery gags or neon-colored characters. It's the tale of a boy from Canada who refused to settle for ordinary, a man who chased laughter even when life failed him, and ultimately became one of the most beloved and complex figures in entertainment. Born James Eugene Carrey on January 17, 1962, in Newmarket, Ontario, Jim's beginnings were humble. His parents worked hard. His father is an accountant turned drugstore clerk, his mother is a homemaker and singer. But money was tight, and by the age of 12, Jim found himself working nights to help his family pay the bills. At 15, his family moved into a van in a parking lot, and in that cramped, uncertain space, Jim started performing for family and neighbors, faces contorted, voices twisted, entire worlds built in seconds by nothing more than imagination. You can see it now, a kid determined to make people laugh, not just for applause, but for hope. That garage became his refuge, his escape. And though the world would later remember his roles, it all began with survival. By his late teens, Jim moved to Los Angeles, holding onto a dream and a Norton brand of go-for-broke optimism. He tried everything, living on couches, hustling for auditions, doing odd jobs, just to stay close enough to Hollywood to make something happen. Then one night at the Comedy Store, he exploded onto stage with such kinetic energy, heads bobbing, arms swinging, hit after hit of impersonations and physical shtick, that the crowd couldn't help but lean in. Soon, in living color, came calling. From 1990 to 1994, Jim lit up TV screens with characters like Fire Marshal Bill, until he broke out into major roles. Ace Ventura, Pet Detective, in 1994 was pure comedy gold, a man-child detective squealing aloud, shouting, "Alrighty then," and flopping through suitcases like rubber. It became a hit, and suddenly everyone knew who Jim Carrey was. He didn't stop. He dove into The Mask, twisting himself through animated expressions, turning face paint into pure zaniness. He became Stanley Ipkiss with a grin so infectious it became licensable. Then there was Dumb and Dumber, where Jim and Jeff Daniels created a snow day of calamity and calamity, proving Jim's sweet spot was comedic chaos matched with heart. Yet fans might not realize, Jim was deeply insecure. Interviews from the early 90s reveal a man terrified of failure, of becoming irrelevant. His humor hid a fear, and every time he burst into a character, it was a fight for acceptance, a declaration that he belonged up there on stage and on screen. Then came the turning point. In 1998, Jim took a leap into drama with The Truman Show. His performance as the man who lived inside a global TV experiment shocked audiences. This wasn't mask-slapping or cartoon voiceovers. It was raw, it was painful, it was heartbreaking. And it showcased Jim's soul. The world sat up. He'd proved he could shift from comedy king to emotional heavyweight without losing the flame. He did it again in Man on the Moon, playing the eccentric Andy Kaufman. Jim put his body into Kaufman, into the weirdness, the pain, the obsession. Critics said, he didn't just play Kaufman, he became Kaufman. He earned his first Golden Globe. And yet, only 2 years later, he pivoted again, back into comedy with Bruce Almighty, captivating millions as the everyman suddenly holding godlike powers. Could you imagine praying for miracles and watching them come true with those sassy, Quaker hat cheekbones? Millions did. Then he took Comic Blues. 2, Liar Liar, playing a lawyer cursed to tell the truth, his speech unraveling in frenzied honesty. There was humor, yes, but also a purity to those moments. It was entertainment laden with emotion. Through the 2000s into the 2010s, Jim explored deep themes: love, grief, existence. Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, in 2004 became a cult classic, a genre arm wrestle between romance and sci-fi. Jim and Kate Winslet endorsed love's fragility with gut-wrenching vulnerability. Critics hailed it as one of the greatest performances of his career. Personal life followed similar arcs. Jim experienced massive highs, wealth, fame, adoration, but also great lows. His marriage to Melissa Womer ended after a few years. He found love again with Lauren Holly, then with Jenny McCarthy. He became a father, and that changed him. But tragedy struck in 2016, when his longtime partner Catriona White died by suicide. It hit him hard, a darkness he hadn't anticipated, a grief he didn't know how to carry. He went quiet, overseas, out of the spotlight. When he returned, it was with a different vibe. A humble prophet. He'd survived loss, chaos, fame, even abuse at home. In 2020, he dramatically shredded a check for $5 million on Instagram, calling it a piece of paper, and questioning its meaning. It became one of the most memorable social media moments, over 200 million viewers absorbing his message. Bonds were breaking. Then came another shift. Jim leaned into spirituality, humanism, creative art. Paintings appeared, uplifting songs surfaced. Today, at 62, he's not just a comedian. He's a thinker, a creator, a healer. And yes, more films are on the horizon. Sonic the Hedgehog 3 inches starring as Dr. Robotnik, Sonic the Hedgehog 2 inches having revealed his phenomenal range in voice acting. He's still working, but now differently, less frantic, more grounded. But the real charm of Jim Carrey isn't box office or awards. It's the spark that reminded us, laughter can heal but truth inspires more. He showed us the beauty in bringing joy, in revealing pain, and embracing both. Every wild face, every teardrop-eyed confession, every ruined mustache, it's all part of a larger story. The man who wasn't just playing characters, but discovering himself. And he continues to evolve. He's mentoring young artists. He's advocating for mental health. He's running art retreats and speaking about meditation. He's proving that life after fame can be richer, more reflective, and more authentic.